What's going on here?
Do you usually steal them out of there?
I set them aside.
The neighbor girl that used the girl, so I train like kids in ways that they don't love for their for her 6-year-old, but so after how.
Probably terrible for you.
Oh,
You're good to go, Lois.
On here.
Do you usually
Oh,
steal
look,
them?
it's the other side.
Oh.
Wait, what?
You're good to go.
Oh. It's not the shipping label,
That's
it's
not
the other
the
thing.
other side.
Right.
Oh, sorry.
That's the. Okay, all right, we're ready. Is everybody ready? Okay. No, okay. Okay, it is the November 8th. Salem Public Library Advisory Board meeting. And we have, a forum of people here, and we've all had pizza, and except for Mark and Sonny, but, and who's it? But we're happy and we're here. And I want to thank you all for being here, because you're doing something for your community. That's a good thing. So, first on the agenda is the approval of the minutes. If you've had a moment to look at them, I would entertain you to approve.
I have a couple of corrections for you.
Okay.
There needs to be an update that notice you could change for the October minutes that identifies me as the chair. The other thing is that, I would like to have added to the minutes in the discussion of the check, when the book is checked out, getting the value and you print it out on the receipt. It does correctly say like staff checkout or whatever, but I feel like I want to document that that's currently not available at the self-checkout stations, and that we discussed, wanting to see that, being added to the, self-checkouts. I think it was Polaris, use the, whatever the program was.
So that was under patron receipts project update. So you would just like a sentence that,
Senate girl.
the receipt program is not currently being used.
Available, an option for the, at the self-checkout. And that, that we would like this to, we would encourage that this, that be added, that like, looking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you get that?
It's recorded, so I'll just go back and watch the recording.
All right, great. And I just wanted to add that the part of support board's possible meeting, the people at that meeting, and it says, Lois shared that David, Sonia, Kate, and Jim Montgomery was in the meeting too. And I wanted that to be added because, it was in the section. So, is there a motion to approve the minutes? I'll say aye or raise your hand. Aye. Any opposed, say no. Okay. Did we have any public comment?
No public comment. Matthew did share that he was gonna be able to make the meeting.
Oh, okay, thanks for letting me know that. Okay, so, we are gonna have a little report from the team advisory board, and I wanted to congratulate you on getting the Mayor's Youth Achievement Award. That was pretty cool. And, were you there? Yes, we were. It was nice. Did you get to shake the man's hand? Oh, yeah.
Get one of those pins to be one. Award, and I just wanted to, a little slip. I've been talking. Yeah.
That is nice. Okay, so what's going on?
So, hi, I am Diana. I use pronouns and I am a senior at Robert Treasure. And, well, as you just said, in October, Senior Advisory Board was honored to be recognized at the City of Salem Volunteer Architecture. Proud to receive the Leadership Achievement Award, recognizing all of Tom's contributions, specifically the Table Unique Project and Renewal of the House. Non-current and past staff members have been able to receive an award and it was. Hello everyone, my name is Lauren Huber. I'm on the Schaefer. I am an 11th grader at West Salem High School. Also in October, these are CAB members cooperated to build a grills and chill haunted house in the Anderson rooms in the community. The goal was to use creativity and storytelling skills to create a medium and very haunted house themed for elementary school leaders. Nearly 2 hours and 1 month open, we had 632 visits.
Wow. That was
Yeah, it was 200 more than last year.
Wow.
Yeah, 12 staff members and interns who got turned on down, so away, and overall super successful.
Did any kids cry? It was not that scary.
It was barking at one of our top. There was 2 staff members who were a werewolf and a Sasquatch, and I guess for about 5 minutes, I overheard April barking. And I went to check on what was going on, and she was sitting there trying to have a bark battle with a werewolf, and yeah.
Audience participation.
Very interesting, very interactive.
Things that happen in the library stay at the library.
Yeah, there you go.
Great. I have never been to the, grill thing myself, but I've been here on that day. Just like so many people. It's very cool. And now that's the kind of thing I feel like the greater community needs to know that, how much this library gets used. 632 people. I went to the Halloween drag show, and that was almost full. And I mean, that's a lot of people coming to the library, and it's very neat. So, any questions for the teams?
No, just congratulations. I was at the volunteer event and it was wonderful to see you guys up there and being recognized by the city and for all that you do. So,
Having the needs that we should hear of, as far as to support any of the activities that you hear, when you might think about that.
Yeah.
Well, didn't we just, I just got an email that they needed more things at the, pick what you need. Is that right?
I received over $1,000 in donation.
Just from that email? Wow, great, great response.
I got 25 packages yesterday and about 12 today so far. So people very responsive. Like, yeah.
Wish list.
Right. I actually have had to take a couple of items off already because we received so many that will probably be good for the next few years. Some certain items.
I guess I missed out. You sent an email out yesterday?
On Saturday.
Is it in the men's restrooms too?
Yeah.
And then there's a family restaurant where they have it, right?
Correct, yeah, so I second floor, one of the family restrooms, the men's and women's restrooms on the main floor here. And then we have a box, the model didn't work to put it in the restrooms that wasn't the same one, but there's a box behind the counter of items that people can ask for, and don't hear anything. I didn't see that.
So for, if anybody's listening, I don't know if anybody listens to this, but the project is a take what you need, and there are items in the restrooms of the library that have items that people who are unsheltered, like toothpaste, toothbrush, women's hygiene, things, I don't know, diapers,
And actually, not just people who are in house, because,
oh, right.
might meet needs for almost anybody, like, we all get caught up short sometimes, so there's mini nail files, deodorant, lip balm, hand lotion, hats. This time of year, we just started putting out hand warmers again, gloves, socks, just a really big variety.
And so are you taking cash or you can, just donations of money?
The foundation has set up a fund, because we do sometimes get unexpected cash donations. So there is a way of processing those, but most of what we solicit for is donated items.
And they can bring that to the, any of the, where can they?
So there's well, there's more than two ways, I suppose, to do it, but the two main ways are, we have an Amazon wish list, and that gets mailed, shipped directly to the library if the purchase is made. And we also have a secure Dropbox that sits right outside of the teen scene room.
Okay.
And people can put their donations into that if they bring physical items to the library.
Very wonderful project, and it shows that our teams are really, thinking beyond themselves, and I think a lot of times, teams get a bad rap for being self-absorbed, and they're not all. So, okay. Chair's report, I really have no report. We'll talk a little bit later about, meeting with support boards. But, I kind of been is waiting to see what happened with the tax. We know in a big way what happens. Bridget is not here today. She was at a meeting for something. I think it's like library. There's some direction. Okay. I don't think we have anybody here from Friends, and so, foundation report, Sarah is our liaison.
So we voted to add 2 new members to the foundation. Didn't write down their names, but one is a retired nursing home high teacher librarian. And the other is a YA author, published author, an activist. So they seem very excited to join the board of the foundation, and we were also looked at a matrix that the foundation has that shows what sort of we let the foundation know what kinds of skills and what kinds of demographics we represent. So we use that in order to decide whether to invite the applicants into the board. We got it great image, so that we have 2 numbers. There was an update on the progress in the Sprinkles grants. There was the meeting happened before the order by pioneers with it, now it is possible. And then talking about Salem Reads, in terms of the art that will be associated with it. So this year, the foundation is starting something new by working with the Salem Art Association to curate the show. So there's it's going to be professionally curated and inviting artists to who represent diverse perspectives to participate in the show. Already a lot of interest from artists. We're very excited about that. And then talk a little bit about it was the day after the city council meeting, which was talking about budget, potential budget cuts. Bridget was there and talked a little bit about this notion that we can cut out 52, the whole city council's notion of what cuts to the library would really amount to, not being based on actual costs of the library. So she, I know, is working with city council to get a better sense of what closing the library might be, for example, would say it would be much less than what they were estimating. We talked briefly about the collaboration, and everyone seems in favor of going forward with this collaboration.
Any questions? I have a couple of questions. So Bridget, when talk about going to the city council and telling them.
Well, she didn't tell them at the meeting, but she followed up with them, because at the meeting, they were saying, well, if we were to close the library one day a week, and we could just take out, that percentage of the budget, obviously is not, it's not, keeping the lights on, but it's not staying. So that's one, so I know, and you want to speak to this more, has been talking to city council about what the budget would actually, how it would actually affect the budget to grow this for once, and some of the other scenarios too.
You know, but I haven't even actually, but I do know that with it, it's been providing, those figures, for consideration.
If you know this, but, I think what the teams I can provide really the best assessment of like, currently you're open to what's not like until 8 on Tuesday through Thursday. So, and I know that someone with a lot of don't have to study or whatever, how to fight, that people come here to do schoolwork on the weekends. So if one of the proposals is to close the year, how do you think that will impact kids? That.
Yeah, so I'm heavily involved in my school clubs and other extracurricular activities. So we're thinking that moving the meetings obviously earlier, and that could potentially lead to mention like the further since then my work and some members having been back out of the because handle inconvenient. And that is something we discussed earlier, and we will be having a discussion together tomorrow night. I don't know if you will on the bus bike. They were studying there.
Yeah.
The library is a good resource that are wide variety of here, so there's a lot of things.
This is a follow-up since we're having this discussion. Again, I don't want to put Sonia on the spot, but maybe you can follow with Bridget on this. One is the changes that are being proposed. Will they take effect? Are they looking at the new fiscal year, which is July, or is that still being discussed?
So far, the discussions that I have seen have suggested that there probably will be a year adjustment approved in that would take effect on or about January 1, and then perhaps the potential of additional adjustments with the new budget starting on July 2024.
And then the second question is, just out of curiosity, I know that the Salem Library is a cooling center in the summer. When that's the case, who pays for that? To keep, let's say it's on a Monday and you guys are closed on Monday.
We don't add additional hours. We're really available as for cooling and warming only the same regular hours.
Oh, so if there is a request to be open on Monday and you're not open on Monday, then
we have not at any point found that we have the capacity to add hours.
okay. I just didn't know if there. I guess my question was if there was some funding to be provided by the state to keep you open to be a cooling or something.
Well, we have, our staff is already working 7 days a week. So we have staff that work a Sunday through Thursday schedule, and then most of our staff works Tuesday through Saturday. I think it's probably obvious why. Because most of our open hours following that Tuesday through Saturday. So there are staff in the building, but there's not adequate staffing on a Monday to fully open
Okay, then, oh, no, that's fine. I was just curious if there was some funding that comes from that designation. When they, they advertise it.
But on that, I mean, I, I may be wrong, but I think the library, when it is open, is considered a warming place. And perhaps should receive some kind of funding because it is listed as a place to come and warm. And why should that be paid out of the library's budget?
That's kind of my point.
That's your point.
That's my point. I mean, they're designating this as a warming or cooling shelter and advertising it such, and I assume it will funds that came from, so.
Well, and it is, a service that is provided for to the community in addition to being open for people to get library material.
So I'm thinking back about hours again, and really feeling like if we're the advisory board, I feel like if they were to say, okay, well, we're gonna go to their meeting at 6, might it be better for us to think about some motion or some statement that has at least maybe 2 evenings a week that it's open, that it stays open later, to allow for the kids who are going to be unable to utilize the space that they need to do their work, to have at least a couple of evenings where if it closed at 4 or 5, if there's a certain number of hours that they're gonna have to, like, they say, okay, we could be open 46 hours a week, but just like for a random discussion, I hope that people will consider that early evening hours are very important to diverse age groups, like you said. Even people with like little kids who pick them up at daycare and go home and eat and then come back and get some books before they go to bed or whatever. And kids doing homework and people after work, being able to not come here. I think you'll see an out of proportion drop in the number of visitors. To the number of hours. And if the hours aren't targeted, if they can use some data that may be available or maybe I just feel like maybe as a group, that's something we should like take a position on. I'm very concerned about it.
I'm concerned about it too. I don't know what that would look like tonight, except I mean, I would push for no hour elimination at all. Sure. I mean, that would be the goal. And keep West Salem open. And that's one of the reasons actually to kind of skip down to the next. I'm gonna go ahead and skip down to the next item.
Before we do that, can I just give a shout out to the library? I was at the event at the end of the month, the Queens that thing, and yeah, it was very nice to come to the library and see a line out the door of people wanting to go. And just just a diverse reflection of the community. Like, this is an aside, my brother and sister-in-law were visiting from out state, so Friday night we went to the symphony. Saturday night, but that's a good extra. So they got to see soup to nuts of Salem. And it was just it was a great experience. I think everybody that was there is not, I think a lot of people would be, it was their first time in the library, so it was really nice.
Yeah. The author visit was also amazing.
So it's about
I didn't mean to, I just,
No.
you're like, everything, it was awesome. Yeah, Jay Jance was here and she's hilarious and, pulled something back and I thought, lovely. And it was awesome. And we had a local bookstore selling her books, which was also nice. And so, hey, I just wanted to.
were there a ton of people there?
I don't know what other author visits have been like. I thought so.
Like 1,500.
But I would venture to guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was great.
No, these are all good things that if anybody's listening that needs, they need to know that there's all this stuff that's happening at our local library. And I think that is one of the reasons I think this collaboration meeting is important, because I would like to have kind of a united front of people that support the library to maybe either give a presentation at city council, or, have a letter writing campaign, or, email your counselor kind of thing. What things that we could do to, let our city council know that, this is, we want our services to stay the same. I know, money's a problem, but, we can do what I think we need to, fight for what we want. Fight is not the right word, advocate. And I also think, it'd be great if we do, go to the city council in person. To have some teams there would be great. Awesome. Because they love it when, teams come and say that, we're the good teams and everything in the community.
Including Diana, we actually have 7 people in total that are interested in testifying to this. That's something that we're getting in the works right now.
Cool. See, no, maybe they should come to the meeting on the 6th. Oh. No, it's a meeting to kind of collaborate with this board, the foundation board, which is, do you know what the foundation is? The library foundation is kind of the group that collects money for the library from private donors, not through taxes or anything. And then the friends of the library run the store and have the book drive and all that money comes to the library. And then there's you all, which is another board. So we're having a meeting on December 6th to talk about collaboration. So I'm gonna go ahead and invite them. Consider yourself invited. I will send something to Simon. Is that okay, Simon? Is that all right? Okay, so on to this collaboration meeting. You all saw this, there were three little agenda items. Want to have introductions of lab, foundation friends, and tab. And then we're going to talk a little bit about what it means to have, this tax measure that did not pass. And what kind of activities we can do in the future. Are there any questions about that? There's been a little bit of concern, I think, about some of this, but I think it's going to be a good thing.
If we could, I know Francine talked about kind of whether or not we want to take a statement tonight, take a position tonight, or at a later time in terms of whatever is going to happen to the library. And I guess my question is, I think before we take a position, it might be helpful for us if we had a presentation from library staff, at least in terms of what the options they're looking at are. And maybe that can be at our December meeting. But that would be helpful for us, because I think our role as advisory is to give recommendations to council. That said, I mean, we could, make a motion tonight, a broad motion, strongly encouraging the city council to kind of look at that, and that we strongly support the continued status quo funding the library or something,
That would be good.
at least, pending any recommendation or feedback we get to say.
Just as a reminder, there's no scheduled December meeting. There's no,
Yeah.
Right. That's right, thank you.
Did you have?
Unless we hope. Okay.
The other source of that information, there have been staff reports, made to city council that outline the recommendation. That are available in the city council work session captions.
that's the same information they give us.
Yeah, which,
We don't have anything else.
Well, and I think, I don't know how we want to go on that. I think a broad motion might be the best, because then we can, do with the, yeah. And also maybe we need to see what the city council is thinking about, and then we can sort of target that, because they're not gonna do it, I don't think they're gonna do it like in one meeting. They'll probably have hearings. And you want to think about that, Mark? How they do that?
But you can have meeting. Subcommittee. Wow.
Oh, they follow all the rules.
they've had two work sessions to date, and both of those are available to be reviewed. There's, videos of those available online, and also the meetings. That do outline. I mean, of course, that discussion is happening during those meetings, all of the different scenarios that the counselors have asked to have library staff. Research and respond to.
Actually, I think it's
It's,
better work session.
Well, I watched one of them, and it was like a month ago or more.
there's been two that I'm aware of.
Okay, so I haven't watched the other one. And what I saw at that one was that counselors were asking for other options besides the ones they got, because they felt like, well, we don't have to do these particular other ones. And now that the vote has happened, I think there might be more options on the table, or different options. So,
I think that, it might be wise to follow up the agenda and stuff like that.
that I do.
Agenda for the last of the work sessions also did include, like a kind of a side-by-side chart. Prepared by staff that showed what the effects would be of 4 different scenarios. And that particular document is very informative. And is available on the council's website.
Okay, and that was from the library.
It was regarding the entire city, but the library is accounted for. The effects, the possible effects on the library are part of that graphic. The recommendation.
You happen to remember what they had?
Okay, yeah, we're-
Oh, you're great, that's great. So,
So those would like a motion.
I would like a motion about the meeting for one. I would want to go into that meeting in support of this board.
So the motion you like is that, that the lab board will participate in your December 6th meeting. Do we know the time we set that?
I heard board for the subcommittee that you talked about in the last week.
That the library advisory board is in support of the meeting of the collaboration between lab, friends, CAB, and the foundation.
So the concept of it.
The concept of the meeting. There can only be up to 4 members of this group at the meeting, and I think David and I will be there. And I would like to, ask anybody else who might want to be there to let me know. But I'd like a motion that that as a lab, we support this meeting. Not that we're all gonna go. As a lab, we support this meeting.
So moved.
I second it. Okay, so the actual
Then we said that the lab board supports the collaborative meeting in December.
Okay,
Period.
and we have a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, so we have the lab as a body supports the meeting on December 6th. To collaborate. Now, I would like myself as the chair and David as the vice chair to go to this meeting, and we can have two more people. And if you'd like to be at the meeting, Valerie, I'd love. Thank you.
I would advise limiting it to 3 people.
Why?
We have 7 till. No, just.
You told us at a different meeting that four.
To avoid any questioning of it, my recommendation would be to keep it 3 for this collaborative subcommittee. Don't know the status of where things were at as far as accepting resignation along the line. It would be safest position would be to have it limited to a 3 in the subcommittee.
We've been told before that it doesn't make a difference how many people are on the board, that 5 is a quorum. So 4 would not be a quorum. And that is what I'm going for. So anybody else that would like to be on this committee, please talk to me later. All right. Anything else? Oh, brainstorm ways to support the library funds program. So, this, I just thought the chat people, left, but I'm hoping maybe they have some ideas of ways that we could support them. We do have money, like I said before, you know, we'll spend some of the money that we have. And I'm just thinking, are there any other ideas? I'm thinking when we had talked at one point when we last meeting about this Polaris thing. And what was that again?
Okay, so it goes back to having people see the value of the dollars and cents of what their circulation that they're taking out. And that's currently only available if they get staff to check out. And I think, Sonia, what's your sense of the percentage of people who use the automated checkout versus asking staff to do it? With any idea?
I would say most people are using their self-check.
Right, that would have been my sense too, but I thought I would ask you. So. To build the whole, like what I would be that whole year on this chair is to build an understanding of the value of the library to the community. And being able to see on a receipt gives that number to people. And that's why I said last time there should be a note on the thing. Don't ask for receipts so you can see. Remember? Yeah. I know I pushed the no receipt button, the paper and ink, but that's when I found out, oh, but it's not available with the self-checkout. So I think it's getting it extended to, and Polaris, my understanding from talking to people at the Virginia City Library, is Polaris is the program that they use that enables that to happen in the self-checkout.
And Bridget told us last time that she was looking to see how much it would cost to get it for us. So
Yeah.
that is a possible thing.
And that could be a foundation. $1,000. That could be a foundation request or a shared.
Yeah.
Lab
Yeah.
foundation,
Yeah.
you know, initiative.
Like, okay, so that's a good idea.
Well, and I think it gets to the second point that you raised, and then there's, if we're looking at mid-year reduction, and then FY24 reductions. As you pointed out, like so, we have some resources. We need help with that transition, and because I don't know what that cost is. And that may not be something we want to stick our toe into, but I think at this point, all that's we're off here, and I think we should have a discussion on that, on everything.
Well, and in Bridget's report, she mentioned several outreaches that they've done, like to Head Start and to the first graders. You know, we might be able to just say, we could pay for that, and then that would come out of, then that would, I don't know if they can do that, but, that would take that piece off of the library's plate if we said, we will fund the outreach to Head Start, or we will do this for that.
I know that they won't then just cut, I
Well,
will,
we don't talk.
okay, I totally agree with you, but like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
When you do that,
well, no, the library is fill it in with something. But I mean, I think we could do something. But, I mean, any other ideas, like, I know we have a new van, maybe we could pay for gas, I don't know,
Well, remember, 80% of the library budget is staff and so. And these, the long run, will step down for us. Of the $5.5 million on the budget, 80% for the staff and benefits for the. And we, when you think about 5.5 million, we think about that most people have in one bucket is about 200,000. Yeah, but, I mean, it's. I would be concerned about, since that's not, maybe the interest that we get on it could go to a certain thing, but I would feel worried about our inability to do things to support single needs and other things that keep us relevant to what's going on in the long term, because this is not a there's no yeah, no.
no, ongoing, yeah, there's no ongoing.
So the deficit they were projecting is 5.5.
No, that's the budget.
That's the whole budget for the last.
That was the last one we saw. It's actually, I have it out in the car, and I actually sent it, I don't know if you did it either. I sent it all off to Matt, because he's interested in it, and I can tell you. Yeah, I have. It's probably a little bit more than that. That was where it was.
That's the budget for the library.
Right, yeah, it's maybe 6.1 now, it's a little bit from that, but that's the kind of the land. Landscape or park, yeah, well, park or landscape. One or the other.
Do we have restrictions on home?
That's a good question. I don't know the actual, answer to that. I had thought, we don't, but at one point, the lab actually voted to send a couple of people to the American Library Association conference because it was in Portland. And we were told we could not use our funds for that, which I was very surprised at. And I went to the mayor and he was very surprised about that. But nevertheless, we cannot use our funds to send our people to the American Libraries.
The staff training is there, if the guidance are not appropriate or
Yes.
not eligible.
And remember, I brought up the thing about contributing to the cost of the backpack. They said that we couldn't use lab funds to make a dollar contribution to like the EHS and foster care, which that, yeah.
So,
For donated for use for.
it's for the library. That's what I was thinking,
Right.
like if we,
It's a need education,
Right.
right?
yeah, but not, I think that's debatable.
We could certainly, look into that. and give you- Give you a
Well, the
report and
foundation
information about
ended up
that.
paying for us. The foundation generously paid for it.
Okay, so fiscal year,
Yeah, yeah.
fiscal year was 5.6 million. And fiscal year 24 is, 6,050,000.
23 was 5.5.
What?
23 was 5.5.
5,610,000.
Megan.
All right. Any other ideas to, I mean, I think there are some library activities that maybe we could, integrate the cost of, and that way free up funds. Any other ideas? All right.
Well, I like having the team think about.
Right, and they can think of some, maybe if they have one. they have a
That's the
project they
creative
want,
energy.
or yeah. Anything else for the good of the order?
I just wanted to circle back and say that the work sessions I was referring to happened on September 18th and October 25th. And those materials are available on you can review the agendas and the reports
Great. September 18th and October 25th.
That's in the council website.
on the council's website. Yeah, all of their meeting agendas that deal with the agendas, the first two work sessions, the attachments provide some good, to the agenda, provide some good detail that might give you perspective on what's being considered.
Great. Good. All right, anything else? You want to make a broad statement at this point or wait? Benson, Howard, I don't know. How about something like the lab, is really to support and promote library services. The status quo of library services.
What I was thinking, the library advisory board. Supports, the continued.
Service level.
Service level. Of the library, and look forward to work with city council. And find other options that might be available, like November 8th. So we have.
Gonna make that,
Is that, I mean, is that generic enough?
yeah,
Okay.
and I mean, if we have the right wording, that it could even be something that we could, when we go to Scott Archer, we can say, this is what the library advisory board voted on, and we can take it to our city councilors and say, you know, the lab is fully behind keeping the library services out today. If not, well, we know that's not gonna happen.
There a second.
Second.
All right, all in favor say aye. 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 All opposed?
Just thinking about. Is there some, I'm really not the word experience, but I was thinking about, is there a way to like, further later. About things that would think. Changes out are things impactful on the. Utilization of the library. Come back to those hours.
Well. Actually, we already took a vote. So,
I mean,
If- well, wait a minute. if, with that statement, we're saying. We don't want any changes. And you wanna make it more.
I guess I'm feeling realistically, there probably are gonna be changes, and to me. Realistically, I'm thinking, okay, so where, how. I think hours of operation is a big piece of it. It's. cuts are made in certain ways, they're gonna have a worse impact on the improve their access.
Have a report, or is it something that we could ever get, like how many people utilize the library, like 7 to 8, right? Okay. Yeah.
It almost seems like
We'd like to review a spreadsheet of,
Yeah, we would, right?
so our recommendations in the city, if you need based on review.
Sure.
yeah, because it's almost like if you can find modal, there's the crowd that comes early, right? The kids, you know, look at you, and then the group that can come later in the afternoon. And we'll really get space in the middle, but you know, nobody wants to work split shifts. Yeah.
It could be that way, it's not. So we could provide you with a statistical analysis of how the per hour usage. And something that we look at. So if the board would want to review that, you know.
No, it
Give you some examples.
At West Salem High School, they have study hours, and the only place have programs 2 nights a week and Saturday with teachers like together.
Wow.
So I don't know about other schools that you might speak to when my kids go, but if that makes it feel any better, West Salem, like, at least they have options and with teacher support,
Sure.
3 days
Yeah.
outside for hours outside of. Yeah, I think so too.
And just to add, I think that I recognize that the bill recognizes that the motion we made, you know, we're whistling in the graveyard. That we know something's gonna happen, but I think our role is to provide the city council, which is our position if there's, you know, no cuts, recognizing there's gonna be cuts. Once we will, I think, review the material, we'll know kind of what options are available, and then we can go back to city
Yeah.
council and say, these would be what our priorities, we would recommend.
Does Bridget already do that? Is she already saying like, I know you proposed A through E, but actually these would make more sense for us, or did they even
Bridget
consider that?
provides information that the rest of your city council.
But they don't like have to do that. Like the library is like.
The city working with Bridget has made its recommendations, and the council is now asking about other options. Also for perspective, the next work session is on November 20th, and that is, although they don't take testimony about the closed meetings, they are available to view and to attend. During those discussions, they do.
Now, the last one, they didn't, you couldn't attend. If it's a work session, because you were gonna go.
Yeah, but you can't, you could be like, just like you could be on time to watch. it.
Oh, I see. Yeah, you can't.
You can
can't
observe the
speak.
meeting.
Yeah,
You-
yeah.
You
But
can't.
can
You can't
provide
provide input.
and provide input to the city reporter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we
And
could,
and I did.
I could write a letter saying this is what the lab has. What your motion was, and of course, if you have that on tape, so you'll be able to know what you said.
I don't remember.
So at this point, I mean, what I can see on their website is that they're planning a meeting at 7 PM on the 20th of November. There's no agenda at that, which they wouldn't do for 7. So,
It's okay.
Okay, so we passed that, we passed to, motion. Right, is there anything else?